Hey, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. All right, so this is our beginner Tai Chi class. Let's start with the wellness exercises. So the first thing we're going to do is check in with our posture, right? Tai Chi, we're trying to kind of change what is normal. So we want this prepare position to become what's natural for us every day. So take a moment and look down at your feet. Shoulders width apart, perfectly straight. If you have floorboards, use them to your advantage. The next thing we're going to do is check in with our knees and our lower back. So if our knees are locked, we're getting a kink in our lower back. We want to relax the lower back down, not too much so we get a super bend in our knees, but just enough that the hips are level and the knees are nice and soft. All right. The other part of our spine is our neck. So we want length through the entire spine. So we lift through the crown of our head. It's not a stiff lift, just a gentle lifting through the crown of your head, and let your shoulders hang down. So maybe you want to roll them for a second, let them find that nice neutral position. Okay. And remember, whenever we're in prepare, we have a little piece of fruit stuck under our arms so that our arms aren't flat to the side, but it's like this little puff of air underneath. All right, let's do the first one, like water's wave, or this is the opening and closing of every form. So we start in prepare, rotate your palms so they face back and the arms start to lift. Then they come up to shoulders height and shoulders width. Now we're gonna go upper arms, forearms, and palms sink down in front of your hips. So we inhale and we lift and float the arms up. We exhale and we press down. The next thing we'll include is the legs. So we inhale and we're standing up. Exhale and sink down into the leg. So remembering everything arrives together, we're standing, the arms are at shoulders height. We stop bending when the hands are at the hips. So maybe we have to move a little bit slower in the legs. So connect with your breath. All right, remembering it's a wave moving through the whole spine, up and down. We call it like water's wave. So connecting with the breath, let go of wherever you were before class. Focusing in so that the whole body is connected together, the mind, the breath, and the movement. Let's do a couple more. Try to really let go. Find the lightness through the upper body, nice and heavy through the legs. One more. We'll always end at the bottom. And then from here, we'll stand up and return to that original position with our arms to the side. Very nice. Okay, a little bit of energy flowing. Let's move into the second one. We're going to do looking up at the moon next. So this time the palms rotate facing up. The arms come up overhead. Keep those shoulders down. Palms face each other. Bend at the elbows. Fingertips point together and the palms wash down in front of the body until again the hands come to the hips. Fingers point down. Whole arm rotates till the palms face up. Look up. Bend at the elbows, press down through the front of the body. With the breath, it would be inhale up. Exhale, pressing down. Now with the legs, standing on our inhales, lowering down on the exhales. Trying to let it all arrive together. Big arm circles. Smaller leg movements. So how can we combine the upper and lower body so that everything arrives together? Now take a moment. Let those arms just float up, nice and gentle, really light and airy, and then float them down. Now I want you to feel both of your feet fully connected to the earth, nice and heavy through those legs. Sinking down, feel really heavy in the lower body. Really feel that push out of the ground as you lift up, and a sink. All right, one more. You can always do one after me, so then you can see how we're going to end. And it's going to be like water's wave, that first one that we did. So the arms come out to the front this time, standing up. And then we do upper arms, forearms, and palms, sinking down. And then we return to that original position. All right, let's just do a little bit of a different one, a Qigong exercise. We're going to inhale and gather energy into the heart center. Exhale, press the palms out, releasing whatever doesn't serve you. So imagine inhale, gathering. Exhale, release. So we'll do a couple of these. Feel that stretch through your fingers all the way out. Really sitting up those palms, bending at the elbows to draw the arms in. Do a couple more. Moving with your own breath is always the key. Two more. Very nice. All right. And after this one, guess what we're going to do? Up on an inhale, down on the exhale. And this one we'll just release and come back. All right. How are we feeling? Arms, palms warmed up now? Good. All right. So we've done a lot of upper body. That means we get to our legs next, right? So we've done a lot of Tai Chi walking. I know this, but why do we keep doing it? It's the base of our entire practice, okay? So all of our energy in Tai Chi starts at the ground, and it's made through our legs, okay? Our legs are so much stronger than our arms. What is also true about this is our balance. Our balance affects every aspect of our life, so it affects our whole Tai Chi form. So this is why I want to focus on this so much, because the stronger our legs become, the more balance we have in everyday life. So let's get moving. Quick review for anyone who's new. What is a bow stance and what is Tai Chi walking? Tai Chi walking is bow stance to bow stance, transitioning from one to the other. Quick review on what a bow stance is. We start in our prepare, shoulders width apart. Shift to your left. I'm going to mirror you during this portion. Open up your right toes 45 degrees to the corner. Sink down. Keep your knee aligned with your toe direction. And then step that left foot straight out in front. Heel, ball, toe touches, bend your knee. Now shift your weight forward. Knee over the ankle, 60% in the front, 40 in the back. Two lines, and we'll lean into it. So if we look from the side, a nice lean, remembering like we're moving something heavy always. All right, now shift back. Can you pick up? If it was a drag or felt unsteady, you step a little bit smaller and then move forward. All right, shift back. We're going to reset and we're going to do the other side. And then we're going to get into that Tai Chi walking and burn our legs just a little bit. All right, so from here, shift to your right. Turn and open the left toes, look down 45 degrees, sinking down, whatever level that is for you. Step straight out in front. Heel, ball of foot, toes touch, bend your knee. With our knee locked, there's no weight in the front leg. We have to bend our knee. It's like a cat touching the ground, feeling the connection. Okay, we're good. Now move your weight in. 60-40. Both knees are in line. So remember, don't let them collapse in. Open, crotch rounded enough is what we'll say. Sit back. Can you pick up? If it was a drag, step smaller and then move forward. The main requirements are shoulders width apart with our feet. So if you turned your left foot to straight, it would be on 2 lines instead of having 1 line. If you ever feel wobbly, you might be on 1 line. We want to have 2 lines. All right, any questions on the bow stance? All right, let's burn the legs. We did the arms. This is your choice. We can do our upper body shape, or we can let our arms hang. Our upper body shape is that hug a tree position. So remember, literally like you're hugging a tree. Fingertips point together. We're not super close. Let the shoulders sit in their sockets. And remember, elbows point down, like you have little weights pulling you from each elbow, allowing the shoulders and elbows to droop down. Energy can then go to the center. Instead of here, it'll get caught in the chest. So try to feel light and airy. I know the arms aren't moving, but try to find that lightness in the arms. All right, stepping back. Let's do it. All right, upper body shape if you'd like. Remember, I'm mirroring you throughout this portion. So shift to your left. Turn and open your right toes and sink down. Remember, natural sinking down. Step out, heel, ball of foot, toes touch, bend the knee. Shift your weight forward, turn from your weight. Remember, we shift back. We turn our left toes open. Now, as we pour that weight in, don't stand up. Level, moving forward. Step out. Touch, push, and move forward. All right. Don't stand up. Shift back and turn. Really try to stay at that level that you chose. Move forward and turn. All right. Can you pick up? Shift back. Can you pick up? Nice. Now retouch. Now I want you to feel something here. Whole foot's connected. Most of the weight's in the back leg. I want you to feel opposing forces. What happens if you imagine pushing something heavy with your right leg and you push forward and you support it with your left leg? Because if we pushed and we just pushed and we would fly forward. So I want you to feel this opposing kind of spring action. What is it when you really push? How do we feel our muscles being used in a different way? And then we can push back, push forward and back. Why are we doing this? It should feel totally different than what you normally do. Remember, it's a martial arts stance. So if we were moving fast, we wouldn't want to just push and fly forward. We would want something to stop us. Okay, nice. Feels different, right? All right, so now the key is, how do we include that in every single stance movement that we have? Okay, so that's where it gets really hard, especially when we're doing movements like full postures or forms, because then we have all these circles going on with our arms, right? So let's do the other side. Can you include that spring action in every bow stance that you make? Shoulders width apart, arms up, if you'd like. Otherwise, let them hang and just focus on the lower body. Shift to your right. Turn and open your left toes. Sink down. Now step straight out with the right foot. Heel, ball of foot, toes touch. How can you include that spring? Pushing forward and turn. Push a little bit back so that we can open up those right toes. Pour the weight in. Don't stand up. Step out. Push and move forward, turning the waist. One more time. Shift back and turn. Pour that weight in. Don't stand up. Step out. Push and receive. Now do it again. Push back and forth. How do we feel with our legs? We can use our waist turning, or we can just stay fixed and really focus. You can almost like feel a shaking a little bit when you're really pushing. Feel both feet connected to the ground like suction cupped or Velcroed. And we're feeling this push and support. It's the difference of just kind of free flowing like this and just shifting versus intention. Okay? And you'll feel your muscles start to burn. And this will get you the next level of strength for your balance. All right, 2 more rounds. Ready? Stepping back. Let's do it. All right, prepare. Upper body shape if you'd like. Mirroring you, shift to your left. Open up the right toes and sink down. Stepping straight out, heel, ball of foot, toes. Shift and turn. Next bow stance, shift back, open up the left toes, pour that weight in. Stepping out. Whole foot touches, push and support. Feel those legs burning, shift back and turn. One more. Pour that weight in. Step out and turn. Nice. All right. Relax the arms. Let's check our bow stance. How did we do? Straight, corner, knee over the ankle. Legs feel like we're connected on both sides. 1 thumbs up, 2. How do we do? Yes. All right. Let's do it. Other side. Final time. Ready? Prepare and then arms up. All right. Shifting to your right. Turn and open the left toes. Sink down. Step straight out. Heel, ball, foot, toes touch. Bend the knee. Push and support. Turning the waist. Use those legs. Push back and turn. Pour that weight in. Don't stand up. Step out. Move forward. All right. Shift back and turn. Pour that weight in. Don't stand up. And push and support. 1 more time. Let's check. Drop the arms. How did we do? All right. Getting easier and easier, right? All right, grab a drink. We're going to work the arms a little bit more. Let's do some ward offs, right? This is what we were working on last week. I hope you guys are sweating. Because if I'm the only one sweating, there's something wrong. That's what I'm talking about. That's why we're here, right? Little did you know when you signed up for a Tai Chi class how much work it would actually be. All right. So let's talk about our arms circling, right? We were working on ward off left and right. So first and foremost, let's just hold our arms out and work on our like around a ball technique. So bending at the elbows, we're going to close the arms. Okay, so yes, very nice. So we're hugging that ball and remembering when we're here, the top arm is going to be seated a little bit. So if I show you this way, it's not totally flat because it's going to show grabbing. And it's important on the bottom arm, we don't want to kink the wrist too much. We want that energy flowing through it. So try to have a little bit of alignment through that lower arm. All right, from here, we're going to rotate and then close. Nice. So keeping that little bit of space, the top arm, palm faces down. The bottom arm faces up. There you go. Try to keep those shoulders down. And we're closing. All right, so now we're going to switch it up just a little bit. When you close, I want your top arm to reach out. See the difference? Yes. So like a martial art, we're imagining we're grabbing. Now do it the other side. Imagine reaching out. So the difference is instead of being closed in, we're reaching, we're connecting. Nice, there it is. All right, so we're reaching, we're reaching. So what do we have to check? Check your bottom arm, your left arm. The center is going to be the energy point. That's why we don't want to kink the wrist. There's nothing going on with the wrist on the bottom arm, okay? It's going to be the forearm center. Switch. Very nice. Remember, top arm seated, okay? Don't let it come in like this. Have it seated. All right, ready to add the next part? All right, so from here, we're gonna hinge the left arm up and press the right palm down. So here, when we end up, we want a fist distance from your right fingers to your left forearm. And our forearm should be in the center of our body. See how my torso is a little turned? So I'm not square to the camera. I'm a little bit turned to the side. Perfect. Okay. This is martial arts. So the meaning is over the center of the forearm. So we want that in the center of our body and where the action is happening. But in order to do so, that torso does have to be turned. All right, moving nice and slow. We're going to reverse it. So reverse it. We're going to do that circle. This time, the left arm's on top, out front. Same thing. Hinge the right arm up. The left palm passes over the center of the forearm. Remember here, elbow down. Yes. Very important, okay? When we're here, we're creating a kink in our shoulder. This is super important to keep these elbows down. Let the upper body relax, okay? We're using those arms. They're burning, right? But we don't need to cause tension. We just want to feel the muscles working, all right? So reverse it. So reverse, circle, closing and reaching out with the right arm. Hinge it up and down. There we go. Reverse, circle, reaching out, hinge up and down. All right, reverse it. Close, imagine reaching out. So this one's grabbing, right? You're grabbing with the right arm and you're controlling your opponent's wrist and their elbow hits your forearm, okay? Now from here, I want you to check the height. It might be camera angles, I'm not sure. From here, the forearm, we're not gonna have the wrist be higher than your shoulder, okay? So we're not gonna be up here. We wanna be nice and sinking down. All right, let's reverse it. Close. Now again, imagine grabbing. So you've grabbed your opponent's wrist and you're taking their elbow and pressing it down. The intention was there that time, okay? Switch it, reverse, open. We're gonna close the arms and then up and down. One more, reverse, circling, reaching out, up and down. Now we could do something really fancy, ready? Sink both arms down, come out in front. What are we gonna do? Like water's wave. Haha, see how it's all connected? All right, so you can always include these fancy circles, which is kind of exciting. Any questions? How are we feeling with that? That was 5 minutes of solid arm movements. Are they burning? All right, so this is really important. When we're doing Tai Chi, it's a martial arts, okay? And you are learning traditional Yang style Tai Chi. You are learning directly from the family through me to you, okay? And they believe that it is still to this day extremely important to learn the martial arts meaning so we understand why this arm is out front instead of being here, okay? So the meaning is when we're have someone punching towards us, you're going to step out and grab. And it's not just going to be the arms that we were just doing, right? It's going to be grabbing our opponent's wrist and everything arrives together. So remember what we were just talking about, right? With that push and support, feeling the legs. I want to work on now combining everything together. Okay? So, why is this important? We get the most power out of each movement when we use the whole body as one force. Okay? So we're not just using our arms. Our arms are puny in comparison to our legs and our waist turning. Okay? So let's try to do it together. One of the things we're going to work on is the hips staying at this level. So I want you to step out with your right foot. We're going to do a bow stance. Now, we've done a lot of moving practice. This is called single movement practice, okay? So we've done a lot of forms or flow. We also have single movement practice and we have still practice, okay? So for a moment, we're going to do still practice, but then we're going to move into single movement practice. So with your right leg forward, we're going to talk about the different aspects we should be thinking about, or a Kodak moment within this movement. So right arm's up, left palm is seated. All right, we're going to hold for like 30 seconds. So we're going to run through a checklist. Starting at the top, is your head lifting up? Are your shoulders and elbows sinking down? So not here, here. Now we want our elbow in line with our knee. So we're not to the side, we're not here. This is more common. Our arms are in the front. Okay, our torso is turned to the corner direction. Knee is over the ankle and in alignment. Feel both feet connected to the ground. Feeling the burn, I know it, just hold for a little bit longer. Try to find a relaxed feeling to the arms. Remember, armpits open. Waist or lower back is relaxed so that the hips are nice and level. They're open to the corner direction. We're going to take one more nice big breath here and then release. Okay, shake it out. It feels a lot different when you hold a movement, right? So when we hold a movement, one of the things that we can focus on while we're holding that posture is our breath. Okay, so we're going to do the other side. And I want to focus in on your breath. Are you breathing? And in this checklist that we do, I want you to notice if there's anything that you move or release that allows your breath to be a little bit more relaxed. So we're going to sink down into our right leg and step out with the left. Move that weight into a bow stance. This time the left arm's up. Elbow is in line with the knee. Right fingers point to the center of the forearm. All right, so focusing on our breath, we're lifting up through the crown of the head. The shoulders and elbows are sinking down. Does that help with your breath? Your torso's turned. Does that allow you to have more space in your breath? Or maybe it's relaxing that lower back down just a little bit more. Feel that connection to your feet, nice and heavy. Can you feel lighter in the upper body to allow you to breathe a little bit more deeply into the center of your body? All right, remembering with this movement, we're looking dead ahead. Our forearm is in the center of where the action's happening. And in order for that to happen, our torso is not square. Our torso is open to the side. All right, let's take one more deep breath here. And then relax, shake it out. Shake it out, okay? I want you to see the different aspects of Tai Chi. We've been focused on the flow a lot, right? These are different portions of our practice. Now, when I say practice 5 minutes a day, I mean 5 minutes a day, minimum, all right? But that practice can be any of these things, okay? It can be a flow. It could be still practice, or it could be what we're going to do next is a single movement practice, where we take this movement and we really try to focus in on all the moving parts so that they arrive together. We try to focus in on that relaxation of the whole body for our breath. And we also try to focus in on the martial arts meaning, okay? So eventually that all of these things combine together within this one movement, because there's a lot, right? Tai Chi is not just like, oh, we're just gonna do this and you have it in like 30 seconds. You're like, I got this movement. You know, it's not like an aerobic class where you're up and down on a step and you've done this hundreds of thousands of times in your life. This is all new. Okay, so this practice allows us to line everything up together. So mirroring you yet again, we're gonna start on the other side. So the right leg's gonna be forward, bow stance. Before we get started, I want you to check your bow stance, okay? So can you shift back and pick up? If that was difficult, I want you to step smaller. I want it to be the most natural bow stance possible. Of course, we can step longer, right? And oh, I got all this space to move with my arms, right? It feels so good. But then I'm literally stuck. Like, okay, you have to drag. We want Tai Chi to become so natural that you can just move easily. All right, so our bow stance is good. All right, we're starting with that left arm out in front. Our weight is going to be back. Our right arm's underneath. Now remember, the right arm's going to hinge up and down, okay? So we have this position here. Our left arm is reaching out in front. Remember the meaning. You're grabbing. And now we're going to try to combine everything together. Okay, shift back. You're reaching out, you grab your opponent's arm, you're controlling them over the elbow or forearm. All right, move back. Now, checking, is everything arriving together? So we don't want it to be legs and then arms. We don't want to be arms and then legs. We want it to all stop at the exact same moment. This is where it gets hard, okay? So the palms pressing down. The arm is hinging up. Can you make it all stop at the exact same time? Let's do 2 more. All right. 2 more. Last one. Ready? Up and down. Did it feel different by the end? Right? So this is why we do single movement, so that each time we practice it, we do it a little bit different, okay? So let's do the other side. Remembering that when we're in our bow stance, when we're shifting nice and level. We're not going to go up and down, okay? Right arms out in front, left legs forward, left arms underneath, okay? Again, remembering everything arrives together. So imagine it starts in the leg, it's controlled by the waist and expressed in the hands and fingers. Shifting back. Can you relax the arms? Shifting back. Are you heavy in the legs? Do we have that spring action through the leg? All right, now take a deep breath. All right, I want a big inhale. Exhale, move forward. Feel the difference. Inhaling back, exhale and exploding, okay? So while we're here, one of the things we want to think about with our hips is that we have a tendency to tilt out to one side, okay? This is natural, especially for women. We want to keep level, okay? So we want to stay level. level, moving forward. Yes, we're kind of moving diagonally forward and back. It's not directly forward and back, but the hips stay level. We don't lean. Okay. All right. 2 more. Right arm's reaching out, left arm's hinged underneath. Up and down, everything arrives together. 1 more. Up and down, let it all arrive together. Now hold for 1 moment. Check, head lifting up, elbows, shoulders sinking down, elbow and knee in line, torso open, hips open, feet nice and heavy, connected to the ground. Relax. All right, how are we feeling? Where are our questions? Yeah. Remember, if you have a question, somebody else does too.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So sometimes I'm not able to put 2 boards between my feet. Do you know what I mean? 2 lines.
Yep.
I mean, I need to do it a little bit smaller. That's just what, about me. But the important thing, see if I'm correct, the important thing for me is that I feel stability, that I
Yes.
sense the stability. So if I can't do 2 boards all the time, it's more important I focus on stability.
Stability.
Is that right? Okay.
Yes. So what allows us to have the 2 boards or 2 lines, right, between our feet is our hips open, okay? So sometimes if we are tight in our hips, having this alignment for stability is going to feel difficult. So maybe, especially if we have a smaller stance, okay? If we have a smaller stance, you can have smaller a little bit this way, but never 1 line, okay? 1 line is going to feel super wobbly, but if you're smaller, that's fine. Everyone's shoulders and hips are a different width, right? So it's going to be different, but what matters the most is that stability. And what you'll hear me talk about sometimes is that we have 2 legs, right? So we can easily create stability front and back. That's not the problem. The stability that we need to create is from left to right. So how do we create that is by the 2 lines. So however you can achieve that while having your back foot to the corner and your front foot to straight, do it. Your hips will naturally start to soften and open through practice. But if they're tight in this area, which might also be related to your lower back or what we call the waist, in time, it'll soften and open. And you'll feel better and better. But that's a great question, because how many other people feel like, it's really hard to achieve that 2 lines? That's normal, okay? And it's especially normal if you're practicing the form with me and we're doing our forms class and we're moving like our Tai Chi walking from stance to stance. We naturally, when we walk, a lot of people walk on 1 line. It's kind of natural. So you're undoing years of just normal walking for yourself with how much practice? A week, which is why I encourage 5 minutes a day. All right, I'm going to keep drilling it in until everyone does it, because it's life-changing. All right. What other questions do we have? Yeah.
I think to the lady's question, the other piece is matching up the elbows to the knees, which I had not been doing, and your body feels different. So I'm glad that you're stressing that we need to check our upper body to our knees, because I'm finding I feel totally different. And my thighs.
Oh, God.
No, but that's it. I think that's an important piece that you mentioned that you probably need to keep repeating for me, at least for me. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, it's so important because it changes the hips, it changes the upper body, right? It's all connected. And this is why linking it is so hard. But if we know that, oh, okay, now I know my elbow and knee, and I'll keep saying it, but eventually you'll hear my voice in your head, which that's when it gets scary, because I hear my teachers in my head. And you're like, oh, I'm not doing it, So, and then one day it all clicks, and you're like, I've arrived. I got my elbow and knee in line, and it'll just feel so natural. And I'm glad that's helping. These are the things that help me too as an instructor, because I don't know what's going on in your head necessarily, you know? So knowing what works for you helps me with my cues for this class. All right. Any other questions or comments?
Yeah, actually, I found the tip on the bow stance, because I have a tendency just naturally to open up my leg too wide, to straddle, as opposed to keeping my leg a little bit closer to the rest of my body so that I can pull back without losing my balance. So that tip is really helpful.
Good. Because our stance is everything, okay? The stance is why a lot of people actually practice Tai Chi without even knowing it. It's because of the slow movement that we get the balance. So having, you know, that control, and we call it the ability to change, is where we get that balance. So that's so important to not step too wide or too long. Okay, so that we can always slowly move back, because if we're moving fast, right? Like if I step way too long, I can fly back and do it. But that's not going to help everyday life. How often are we moving that quickly? All right. This is great stuff. Anyone else? I love hearing what's going on with you guys. This is the best part of class for me. At the end, when we get here and I get to hear what's working and not working for you guys. All right. Let's do a little bit more practice, okay? Let's do a couple more times on each side before we close class, kind of burning it in for today's class, okay? And then we'll close class. So, remembering that I'm mirroring you, right? We're gonna step out with our right leg. So that means that you have to sink down into your left, remembering to step out naturally, move forward. Now check, can you pick up? You didn't step too far, too wide, natural. All right, shift your weight back, left arm's out in front, right arm's underneath. Beautiful. Hinging the arm up, torso's already slightly open to the side. We're grabbing our opponent's arms up and down. Elbow and knee in line, torso's open, hips are open. Remember, the hips are kind of staying level. Shift back, they're not changing very much. The torso changes slightly, but the hips remain the same. Shift back, so use that spring action, push and support through the legs, light and airy through the upper body. 2 more. Push up and down, elbow and knee in line. All right, reaching out, hinge. Oh, it looks so good. All right, remember here, don't lean the upper body at all. Nice vertical torso. We're just leaning forward slightly. All right, relax the arms. Let's do the other side. All right, so this time, right toes open, sinking, step out. Now check, can you shift back and pick up? If it was hard, step a little bit smaller. Weight staying in the right leg, right arm reaches out, left arm's underneath. Now remember, shoulders and elbows are already sinking down. Push with the legs, level moving forward, don't stand up. Hinge the arm up. Looks great. Reach out, up and down. So we're imagining grabbing, and we can exhale. All right, why? If we coordinate the breath, we get more power. All right, 2 more. Elbow and knee in line, everything arrives together. So it starts in the legs, it's controlled by the waist, expressed in the hands and fingers. Very nice. All right, great work today. There's a lot going on there. You guys are doing great. All right, we're gonna close class for today, but maybe I see you tomorrow night for some more Tai Chi. Have a great day or week, everyone. Thank you.